Sherri, you had talked about the masculine and feminine and as a larger narrative in sort of society. I wondered if you could speak to that a little bit.
Yeah, I think a few of us have tapped into that, and um, I should have my notes in front of me, and I don't. So I'm going to do a bad job of this, but I'm going to talk about. There's a chart. I get this from Dara Marks, who has her PhD in mythological studies from Pacifica Institute here in Southern California. And she uses this in storytelling, but it is the concept of think of a circle and then cut it into quarters. And the upper half represents the masculine, and the lower half is the feminine. So the underworld and the upper world. And one side is the immature or the young, and the other side is the mature. And so every story can go through this cycle, but every person, every culture goes through this cycle from the insecure, immature,
Right.
feminine through to the American story loves to live in the immature masculine, which is the young hero who's going to go out and fight dragons and win the kingdom. And then we tip into where we actually are now, which is the descent. It's the mature masculine who maybe he has the hero has achieved everything and slain the dragon, and it feels empty. Or maybe they did all the right things. How many of us have this in our careers? You did all the right things and you still didn't get the Pulitzer. You're still, it didn't give you the reward it was supposed to. And our society seems to be in this sort of area of disappointment right now. And it is what this is connects the masculine to the immature feminine, because they both come from a place of insecurity. And the solution is a descent into the underworld to the mature feminine, which is a place of acceptance and appreciation, rather than demanding that we are rewarded in our American dream with like the big house and the car and the arm candy and everything else. But just seeing what we have done and recognizing that like the wheel is turning. And so I remember listening to Dara speak several years ago now, like pre-Trump, like it must have been in the early teens, and how she said, "Oh, I think this is where we are right now." And who knows how long these cycles last, but we are definitely still there, still churning. And every war, everything you see on TV today in the news, every loss that we're experiencing are the death throes of disappointment. And we need to heal ourselves. And books can do that. I should add that. And books can do that because it's people like us who will say these things.
Mhm.
If I could add really quickly, I was on a retreat at Hedgebrook, a writing residency, with a young woman from Zimbabwe. And I was talking to her about the paradigm of the starving artist and how I hated it because the archetype is the artist, not the starving artist. And she said, I wish I had it in front of me, but she said a friend had told her that the word in their language for like the poet, it was basically somebody who was a the court jester was actually like a wise person who gave counsel to the king, but they changed the word and they removed the part that was wise and just made it like the Joker. And how the power of writers is when we have the ear of those in power. And when we lose that, which is why I think that the book banners in the world are fighting so hard to remove our power right now, because God forbid it gets into the ear of the leaders and the world changes for the better.